Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing really well. Back today to talk about Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrun. Another very cute festive romance for this year. In this book we have our main character of Ellie Oliver, who is an aspiring animator but has found through the past year that her dreams of becoming an animator have been thwarted. She's been let go from one of her animation jobs, is currently working in a coffee shop, and she's also still reeling from a bad romantic experience the previous Christmas. She spent one glorious romantic day falling in love with a woman that she met at a bookshop called Jack. However, we don't know the details of it right from the start, but slowly through the course of the book we find out what ended up leaving Ellie to run away from Jack the following morning. She's working at the coffee shop lamenting her situation when its wealthy owner Andrew shows up, and he ends up offering a bit of a proposal, a marriage of convenience. His grandfather has recently died and will be leaving him with a fortune of $2 million. However, him actually being able to attain that inheritance is conditional on Andrew marrying. Andrew, to all extents and purposes, is not really interested in settling down. He just wants to get hands on the money, and knowing the dire financial straits that Ellie is in, proposes to her. They quickly have to learn a lot of information about each other, and it's agreed that Andrew will take Ellie to his family's Christmas home to meet the family and kind of convince them that they are in fact an engaged couple. Ellie is a little bit resistant, but she ends up going on board, kind of realizing that the $200,000 that Andrew is going to be offering her, really she can't say no to it. However, upon meeting Jack's family, Ellie is absolutely horrified to discover that Andrew's sister is Jack, that very same woman that she fell in love with the previous Christmas, and who, as far as we know, left Ellie brokenhearted. And so we have a very classic, tense Christmas romance in which Andrew and Ellie are trying to prove to the family that they are a couple, all the while Ellie is definitely trying to push down any sort of romantic feelings that she has for Jack. There's a lot of getting stuck into different Christmas activities, a lot of discussion on fraught family dynamics, particularly as it's very clear that the older men in this family, Andrew's deceased grandfather and his pretty estranged father, were not the best role models growing up, and it definitely has had an impact on the family. Ellie herself also has familial issues. Her father is pretty much non-existent, not an active presence in her life, and her mother is only interested in Ellie whenever she wants to get money out of her, this being one of the very reasons that Ellie is willing to go along with Andrew's plan. We're also through the story kind of discovering Ellie and her resistance to ever wanting to put herself out there, because she knows that there is always a chance that she might fail, and how fear of failure can really hold you back from pursuing anything. And that's how Ellie has gotten herself into the position she's in, where she just feels like all of her dreams have been dashed, so why bother at all? Interspersed through the book, as way of kind of flashing back to the previous Christmas Eve, we see Jack and Ellie's first meeting, narrativized by Ellie in a webcomic. We don't see the webcomic itself, but we do see the text that she would have written for it. It pops up sporadically, so we're able to really build up this relationship, which really only lasted one day. And by the end of the book, Ellie and Jack have only really known each other for about a week or so, but it really helps us to build up this dynamic. We see what clear chemistry they have, and it really means that we get to understand why Ellie is pining and yearning for Jack. And it also meant that this book was really quite compulsive reading for me. I just was wanting to know what happens next. I felt the tension of if any of the family find out the deal between Andrew and Ellie, the ramifications in the family. The stakes felt high, you know, $200,000 is no small sum. But it was also very clear the pain that Ellie was feeling with the prospect of having to give up any sort of relationship with Jack, because to do so would risk the money and also risk her new formed relationship with this family as somebody who has never really experienced a proper family dynamic. Two films which popped to mind for me when I was thinking about this book were definitely The Proposal, but also While You Were Sleeping. Sprinkle in a little bit of Christmas magic and you've got this book. And I really enjoyed this one. As I say, it is a pretty whirlwind romance. You know, the premise of it is a little bit ridiculous, so I can imagine it not necessarily appealing to everybody who reads it, but I think if you are on board with this premise, you'll find a lot to like in here. It's a book that definitely takes you on a bit of an emotional roller coaster, and even though, you know, because it's a romance, you know what the plot conventions are, you know how it should end, but I feel like there still is enough tension in there that builds to still make you a little bit unsure right up until the last page. So this is definitely a Christmas romance recommendation from me. So there we go, those are my quick little thoughts on Kiss Her Once for Me. Do let me know if you've read this book and what your thoughts were on it. Alternatively, let me know about any other Christmas romances that I should definitely check out. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.